In winter, avalanches are a regular occurrence in the Swiss National Park. These are very powerful events that leave their mark on the landscape. Fallen trees in the park are left to lie there, and in the place where they decay and eventually disintegrate, young trees spring up again, so reforestation occurs in a completely natural way. In winter particularly, deer graze on the trees. At the lower altitudes, where we are now, they mostly graze on pine, and at higher levels they prefer larch. So they have a direct effect on the distribution of these trees. Yet the amount of destruction of trees in the park is fairly small, as the animals have sanctuary here and can graze at a relaxed pace. At the beginning of the 1950s, there was a forest fire here, over on the opposite slope. The whole humus layer is burned through. There's been no reforestation as yet. First, a good humus layer has to be built up, then grass can grow, and only then can young trees take root. As an additional complication, this slope has a south-southwesterly exposure, and in spring it attracts a lot of chamois because they find the first green shoots here. Forest fires are part of the natural dynamics of a large park like this. There's a lot of dead wood lying around here. If there was a really big fire, it would be hard to bring it under control. For that reason, every fire that occurs in the park is immediately put out using conventional methods. The building of the Engadine power station in the 1950s caused a major split in public opinion in Switzerland. Some wanted nature left to itself in the national park, but many of the local communities needed the income from water taxes and wanted a station built. A residual flow system was brought in, by which there was a good flow of water along the Spöll in the daytime, while at night very little water was let through. As a result, the Spöll, although it was really a mountain torrent, got to look like a slow lowland river. On the basis of a scientific study in the 1990s, the National Parks Research Committee began to negotiate with the power station for a new deal on residual flow. As it stands now, we can trigger artificial flooding twice or three times a year, and so the Spöll has got its alpine character back again. After the mishap on the Spöll last year, things actually returned to normal sooner than expected. Because of the artificially induced flooding, every so often the Spöll has got used to these kinds of events, and the animal life knew how to retreat into the side streams. Visitors to the Swiss National Park must keep to a designated route. They can crisscross the area using the 80 kilometers of trails, but may not stray from them and have to keep quiet while they're on them. Since all visitors know the rules, we have very few offences to deal with when you think of the number of tourists there are. Because visitors have to keep on the trails, shy animals come close and can be easily observed. It is possible to watch deer on open ground in the daytime. If the visitors were to leave the trails, the animals would feel endangered and start to avoid these exposed areas. Since 2005, the park has had regular visits from larger predators. The first to appear was a bear, right here. So some major predators range through the park, but none has ever really settled here.